What is the importance of zeros in decimal numbers? The zeros in decimal numbers can sometimes be confusing. It's important that we look at zeros carefully so that we understand their purpose. Let's look at the numbers 8/10 and 8/100. The zero after the decimal point in the number 8/100 is very important. Let's compare these numbers on 100 square grids. 8/100 means that we have 8 parts shaded out of 100 total parts. 8/10 means we have 80 parts shaded out of 100 total parts. How do we make equivalent decimal numbers? It's important to remember that the placement of the zeros in a decimal number is important. Zeros in the middle after the decimal point are placeholders. The number is not the same without these zeros. Adding or removing zeros at the end of a decimal number gives us an equivalent decimal number. Let's see how this works. Here is the decimal number 2/10. It is equivalent to the decimal number 20/100 because the zero is added at the end. This is also equivalent to the decimal numbers 200,000ths and 2010,000ths. We can see how these decimal numbers are equal by looking at their fractional equivalents. We'll start with 2/10. We write the decimal number as a fraction. Now we write 20/100 as a fraction. We multiply 2/10 by a fraction equal to 1. In this case, the fraction is 10/10. This will give us a denominator of 100. The product is 20/100. We see that 2/10 is equivalent to 20/100. We can also show that the decimal numbers are equivalent using diagrams. Here we see 2/10 is equivalent to 20/100 and to 200,000ths. The shaded area stayed the same in each diagram. This tells us that the decimal numbers are equivalent.